The Rider Waite-Smith Tarot is iconic. Its imagery, symbolism and structure have guided readers for over a century. But for some, the original artwork doesn't quite resonate. Maybe it's the muted colours, the early 20th century style, or simply a desire for something a little different. If that sounds like you, you're not alone. In this video, I'll be sharing my top 10 favourite RWS alternatives. Decks that stay true to the tradition but bring a fresh, redrawn perspective. Some are bold, some are soft, some are hard to find, but all honour the spirit of the original. Help me ducks, it's Simon here, welcome back to the Hermit's Cave. Hope everybody is having a great weekend. And for those of you who celebrate Easter, sorry, you've got my arm, I should have lit the candles before pressing the button really. Yeah, those of you who celebrate Easter, I hope you're having a fantastic day. This is the fourth video that I've done where I've set it as a premiere, had a chat with people in the chat, and I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed having 10 days off work, or the first time in a very long time, and certainly the last chance in a very long time with the holidays I've got coming up, where I've just been able to have some time at home, potter about and play with my decks, and I've really enjoyed reorganizing the shelves, looking at some old decks, and that's what's inspired these videos that I've been doing over the last week. So last Sunday, if you recall, I did my top 10 RWS decks 5 years on, which was inspired really by Robin over at Total Tarot, who saw an old video and asked me if I'd updated it recently, and I hadn't. I also watched Robin do his top 10 RWS decks last night. If you haven't seen it, do check it out. It was really good. But for the last few days, I've been thinking about alternatives, because I'm still getting messages from people saying, yep, the original, as in artwork by Pamela Coleman-Smith, Pixie, under the direction of A.E. Waite, doesn't appeal to them. And I mean, that's okay, you know, that's fine. I don't understand it myself, but that's because I'm a huge RWS freak and Pixie lover. Really do love her artwork. But yeah, it's not for everybody. And so today I'm sharing my top 10 alternative RWS decks, but these are very close to the RWS. These are redrawn, recoloured artworks, because, as I said, not everyone connects with the original art by Pamela Coleman-Smith. So whether that's because of the printing style, the colouring, or the era really in which it was created, some people find it hard to connect with for one of those reasons. So today's list of top 10s are for those who want to stick with the RWS system but prefer a different visual style. And I should make it clear here that I'm not talking of decks like Druid Craft or Everyday Witch that are RWS in their system, their tradition. What I'm talking about is decks that closely replicate Pamela Coleman-Smith's artwork, but aren't her artwork. Some of the decks that I'm going to be showing are independently produced or maybe even out of print, but they do pop up on auction sites or second-hand platforms. So keep your eyes open if one of them catches your fancy and they're not in print. A lot of them are in print, some are independent, some are mass market. So there's that whole mix. Okay, so I'm going to readjust the camera so we get a close-up look at the cards, and then, yeah, let's dive in. Okay, so in 10th place, and this is a 10 down to 1, my favourite. Hardly any surprises, this one is here, which is the Universal Tarot. Now, this one, I really don't like. No, I mean, I like the Universal Tarot. I don't like this version. This was done a couple of years ago. Let me just turn off the autofocus. Okay, that's better. I had to turn off the autofocus, otherwise it'll be focusing on my hands and fingers and not the images, and that won't be very good. Yeah, so I've got the original Universal Tarot. And then they brought out this limited edition, special edition on better cardstock. But for some reason, it has these ridiculous... I just don't get it. So, what I'm going to be showing you today is my favourite version of the Universal Tarot. And this isn't to be confused, which I was at the very beginning, with the Universal Waite, because the Universal Waite is Pixie's line work. It's just been recoloured by Mary Hanson Roberts, and that's a great deck, but doesn't fit this category. So this is the golden Universal Tarot. Same images. I love the backs. Comes a little white book. I edged it in black because it has black borders. Let's take out the title cards. Yeah, so this deck in 10th position, I think, and I do love these golden. I love the golden Art Nouveau as well. Love for the larger size that Total Tarot did, but it's not worth. It wasn't worth investing a couple of years worth of money just to get that. But anyway. As I said, it's often confused with the Universal Waite, but it's not. This is called the Universal Tarot. It's its own version. It was redrawn by Roberto De Angelis. It is beautiful. I sat this morning and put this in order. I've not done it with all the decks because I was running out of time. But this is believed to be that the figures are more realistic. The colouring is quite soft and muted. It is bright. There are bright colours in it. When I say soft and muted, it's, I don't know, it just has that more gentle coloration to it, lots of earthy tones. And again, one of the reasons why people don't seem to like, or some people don't seem to like Pixie's artwork is the coloration. So this one also is in a little bit more of a modern style, but it really does stick very closely to the RWS scenes that we know and love. Well, I certainly love. Some of the gold does come off over time with use. That's the problem though with gold that's layered onto cards, but that for me just gives it more of a an authentic ancient feel to it. These images as well are used in the Tarot Bible. Now this was one of the first tarot books I ever got. It's very dog-eared. The cover has been redesigned now over the years. But if I go to Five of Pentacles, you'll see that it's the same image that's being used. So actually, you know, my first deck was the Rider Waite pack, as it was called. No, it wasn't my first deck. The first deck that I got when I bought this, when I went back into tarot in 2006, was the Rider Waite pack. And but the images didn't bother me, even though they weren't exactly the same, because they are so close to Pixie's work. Anyway, so that's 10th position, which is the Universal Tarot. This one that I've showed you here is the Golden Universal Tarot. It's by Lo Scarabeo. I believe that it's still in print. The Universal Tarot is certainly still in print. So if that's one that takes your fancy, then do have a look for that. It tends to come in a blue box. I should have pulled that one out rather than these two versions, but I really wanted to show the golden. Okay, excuse me, I'm just gonna have a sup of tea. In 9th place is one that was very popular about 6 years ago. Don't see much people talking about it now. But this is the Fate Shifters. It's also got a subheading of Astrology Tarot Deck. This has more, I think it has 100 cards, because it's a bit like a Minchiati. It brings in astrological cards as well. But the 78 cards in this are a straight up replica of the RWS. It's like the RWS meets a computer age. So I've separated them with the little book. These are all the additional cards that you get. You get alternatives to some cards as well. That's a title card. So for instance, there are modesty cards, because the lovers in this deck are naked. So then there's these modesty versions. There's a couple of versions of the Fool, again with the Devil, the Star, they covered her up. So there's alternative options for some of the cards. And then you have the astrological cards, so North Node, South Node, Gemini, Scorpio, etc. And they're in the same style, the same art style. So if that's something that you like, then that's good to have. But I really like this. As I said, it doesn't get a lot of people talking about it now. It's very modern, as you can see here. I mean, the colours in it are gorgeous. It is a gorgeous deck. It's inclusive as well, and it's almost like a cosmic reimagining of the RWS, but there's a sharpness and a clarity with the images, as you can see here. So the core structure of the RWS is instantly recognisable, even the same colours of the clothing, etc. I find that the art is, I mean, look how beautiful that temperance image is. The art is clean and really expressive. That was the alternative Devil that I kept. Yeah, it's just really nice. I'll just show a few of the I mean, look how clear that is. It's almost like an old photograph, isn't it? I love the atmospheric scene here. That eclipsed sun. We've got the moon's face here. It's just beautiful. So just showing a few. I believe this is still available. I've not heard that it's not. But yeah, and the backs, I'm not hugely keen on the backs, to be honest, but I do think this is a nice option, particularly for perhaps a younger generation, a generation that's grown up with digital art. It's not AI, this has been out a long time. And it lists all the artists and contributors here as well. So Fate Shifters is at number 9. Then we go to number 8. Now, this This deck that I'm about to show you blows my mind. It is by Tarot Collectibles, who are famed really for, just realised that's upside down, famed for their reimagining of RWS decks. My first deck that I ever bought from them was the Tripping Weight, which I absolutely loved. There's been other versions out, like a Stars version. I then had Groovy Weight, but they're famous for their Winter Weight, Halloween decks, all sorts. And yeah, they also did a fantastic reprint of Thompson Lang. I've also got mentioned them a bit later on, so no spoilers. But out of all of their kind of fresh modern takes on RWS decks, there's one that really stands out for me, and that is the Neon Pam. Love this deck, love everything about it. It says here, the Neon Pam takes Pamela Coleman-Smith's iconic illustrations to a whole new level with neon colours and completely redrawn artwork. It's a great addition for those who prefer the classic Waite-Smith deck over some more colour. And James and Christina are the people behind Tarot Collectibles. I think they do a great service for the tarot community. So why out of all of them? The cardstock is delicious, the colours are vibrant and modern and rich. I love these backs. We've got these neon pinks with this beautiful onk design in yellow, and the contrast between the two, when these are laid out on a desk or a table, they just look gorgeous. The cardstock is the perfect cardstock for me. It's got a shimmer, a shine, but they're beautiful matte. But just look at how gorgeous the colours are in this. So as you can see, this is a faithful reconstruction to Pixie's art, or line work I should say. It's almost identical, but you'll notice that there isn't a signature because it's not Pixie's artwork, it's a replicate. But I would love 10 versions of this with a mix around of colours. There is one called the Black Light Tarot, which is similar, where it's designed to go under a black light, but this deck works for that too. If you do have a black light, I mean, I think I've got a torch, but it's the middle of the day, so I don't think it would be worth even showing it. And I don't even know actually if the batteries still work in this. No, they don't. It's been that long since I've used it. But yeah, I love it. Have you seen this deck before? Look at the colour, look at the oranges, the pinks and the yellows. It's just gorgeous. The line work is very sharp, very crisp. There's no blurring or blotchiness at all, which you sometimes get with some poor reproductions of the original RWS. Not the originals, that's not how it was at all, but over the years with different people reproducing it, you tend to get that. Look at this, isn't it gorgeous? Yeah, so I mean, I really love this ultra vibrant version of the RWS, complete with its gorgeous neon colours and backlight reflective tones. Look how sharp the line work is in that. It gives a real bold psychedelic vibe, and it's such a fun twist on the classic. I'll just show a few more. Oh, I love that green in the background on the Page of Cups. is the Hermit. Pink clouds, look. I could just sit looking at this deck all day. Gorgeous pink sky. They are so clever. So clever. I just love these backs. So, yeah, I could have shown, you know, all a category of 10 Tarot collectible decks because they've got quite a few out, but this one I just seem to love more than the other kind of groovy and trippy versions. All right, so where are we up to? That was number 8, the 8th place deck. In 7th place, a little bit different now from that vibrant colour, we're going to go to black and white. I mean, there was one that I showed a couple of weeks ago. I'm just looking now to get the right name of it. It was, bear with me, Black Ritual Tarot. So I just had to turn around and have a look. And I was going to include the Black Ritual Tarot, but then I wanted one that was just a black and white version. And this one just pips it for me between the two. And I do have actually, in fact, I do have an actual RWS. This is fun to show. This is by Mary K. Greer. I can't remember when it came out, but it's got a cassette tape, an audio exploration of the tarot. And then there's these little cards. It didn't come in this organza bag, I put it in there, but it's the line work, Pixies line work only. And it's a little mini deck, and I really enjoy having it. I don't know if it's got the date of when this was. I think it was the 90s though, in the 1990s. But yeah, it's a great little kit to have. But for an RWS alternative, I thought I would show Dark Side of Tarot. It's by Sasha Graham and Rider Waite. It does come with a nice big book, as you can see here. It has the Roses and Lilies black, Roses and Lilies backs in black and white with a rose in the middle. Let's take out and not to pull the cards out. This isn't very good. This is quite naff. But if I was using it a lot, I would put these into a bag and have the book on a shelf. But as you can see, closely resembling the RWS, but completely redrawn artwork. I really like it. It's got a kind of a moody, cinematic feel. Lots of, I mean, look at that lion. Lots of dramatic shadows, and just has that darker, more intense aesthetic. And despite its noir feel, it remains very faithful to the traditional imagery. I mean, that's gotta be the same sun. If not, then that's a very good redrawing. But I think, again, this is perfect if you want to do shadow work or introspective readings, because you want that more dark, moody, shadowy version of the RWS. This is one of my favourite black and white versions. I did like Black Ritual, but when I compared them together, I was like, yeah, this one just wins out. So, Dark Side of Tarot is number 7. Great deck. the book in. Okay, and then we go to number 6. Now, number 6 is beloved in the community, and it's the Paloy and the Moon Baby Tarot. And I am going to mention them together because this is a custom tin I had made through Make Playing Cards. I do have the box, but the box is 50 years old, although it's stood the test of time quite well. This, at the time in the 70s, was a very cheaply produced game. It was even marketed as a game. It is very 70s with its colours. The printing is very cheap. You can see a thick border this side, a thin border that side. But for me, that, I mean, look at that. That's so off centre. But that's what adds to the charm. You know, it's not a deck trying to represent the 1970s. It's a deck from the 1970s. And I paid about just over £100 for this. Now I see this going for £200-300 if you can get an original copy. The cards are as new, and I said at the time when I bought this that it was as if someone has just left, you know, bought it, never used it, put it away somewhere, and then someone found it 50 years later and popped it on eBay. But I was over the moon when I got a copy of this, because it was one of those decks that I thought I'm never gonna find it, and I did. And then about 5 years ago, I think it was during the lockdown actually, Brant Palazzo brought out the Moon Baby Tarot, which is a recreation of the Paloy. Because people couldn't get it, this is a beautiful Kelly Bear pouch, and these colours really complement this deck. And she made it purposely for the Moon Baby. That's why there's a little moon on it. The oranges, the blues, the pinks match wonderfully. It had a very subtle pink edge. He then, because it, I mean, on Kickstarter, wow, the fund, I think it was like 400% funded. He brought out a second version a year or so later. I've never used this version because I've just worked with this one. So this one will be ordered. I put that one in order this morning. And this one had like a lime green. And I really like these edges. I like both. This is more subtle. But again, nothing else had changed. No colours had changed. It was just a second printing. Love the 70s wallpaper effect in there. It has the key on the back like the original. I don't know if this is still available. I think it is. I think there's still some copies. But again, if you want the Paloy, they are on eBay at the moment, and they do pop up very often. So do look out for it, and you might get lucky. So as I said, the Paloy was released in the 1970s. This version was released about 5 years ago. And it features redrawn versions of the classic with these beautiful bold colours and chunky line work. More so in the original. I think there was a lot of playing around with the images that Brant had to do. Cardstock is dreamy. This is beautiful, beautiful cardstock. So this is a beautiful modern homage to the Paloy. And again, the reason why it fits this category, it's very close to the RWS, but it's completely redrawn. Lots of beautiful colours are used in it. And we have that wonderful, especially with the fonts that he did, to make sure that they kept that sort of 70s vibe. I really love the retro vibe of these decks. but also has kind of like a more, I don't know, more, well, it's certainly more modern than 1909. So I think, you know, if you can get a copy of this, it's brilliant. All right, so that was Hoi Paloy and Moon Baby Tarot in at number 6. So we now go into our top 5. All right, so in 5th place, we have Tarot, the Ancient Prophecy. Oh, I couldn't believe it when I got this. Again, this deck is wonderful. Absolutely, absolutely wonderful. I think in the box, because again, I had a custom tin made for it. We've got this styrofoam, which is broken, for the cards, and then the book to lay on top. It's one of these kind of horizontal books. Pages are quite aged. I think this is the 1970s. It's not 60s. I'm sure it's 1970s. But again, it's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So this is the custom tin from Make Playing Cards. These are the backs, which I love. They've got this beautiful retro feel. Cardstock isn't the best. It's not the worst either. It is quite thin, but no different to like the 1960s versions of like the Hoi Paloy or other decks of that time. You can see it's not the thickest or chunkiest of decks. But what I love about this is it blends, I love the style of the art, but it blends fantasy, mysticism, and RWS with these gorgeous new illustrations and beautiful colours. The blending is done in such a unique way. The artwork, I mean, look at that. The artwork is really ethereal, spiritual, but remains symbolically loyal to the classic RWS deck and its meanings. It has almost like a mythic feeling. Perfect, again, for meditation or magical readings. Look at that devil. That's got to be my favourite devil. Look at his face. Terrifying and comical at the same time. I'm surprised this hasn't been redone, you know, because this has got to be, you know, out of copyright now after all these years, I would have thought. But I'm surprised somebody hasn't redone this. I don't know, maybe the guys at Tarot Collectibles might pick it up. Look at it. The colours are really soft, almost pastel. They've got like a chalky feel to them. I love it. Really love this deck. And I think collectors of tarot really, you know, appreciate having this one. Look at that. This one in their collection. Very faithful to the RWS, but with these beautiful redrawings and recolouring. Gorgeous. So that one is Tarot, the Ancient Prophecy, which I can't, who was the, don't know if it even says who the, does it say on the box? This it says on the back. It says the origins of tarot, the ancient means the predicting the future. The ancient means of predicting the future remain a mystery. A European museum displays a set of tarot cards that date from 1390 AD. However, it's thought by many that the tarot dates back even further. I'm struggling to read it because half the words are missing, so I'm guessing what they're saying. It talks about, some believe that it's from the Egyptian times. I don't, by the way. Yeah, it doesn't really say. It's 1973 anyway. 1973 this deck was from. I knew it was, if it wasn't 60s, it was very early. Whoops, very early 70s. But yeah, if you can get hold of a copy, highly recommend this one. All right, number 4 now. Number 4 is the latest offering into the tarot community. I unboxed this last night with Cheryl on the Spotlight, our monthly Spotlight, and it's the Rediscovered Classic Tarot. And this has become an instant favourite of mine. It is redrawn. As you can see here, look at the backgrounds. And it is just gorgeous. It's been released by Pentagram Publishing. And Dmitro Ryzhak is the artist. And it says here, Rediscovered Classic Tarot is a reimagining of the Waite-Smith Tarot, both classic and contemporary. The deck's characters are virtually identical to those of the classic, while the surrounding landscapes were created by the author from scratch. This is the 4th work from Dmitro. He is famous for his unique ballpoint pen drawn decks. The Dark Gothic Bloody Tears, and I've got all 4 now. The Romantic Fantasy Garden, which is beautiful, a beautiful deck. And the Modern City Labyrinth, which was the one before this one. They're based in the Ukraine. The box is lovely and sturdy. There's a little book, little guidebook here, little white book. Love the backs. It's the same design all around the sides of the box, but the backs are great. My only criticism, and it's only a small criticism, is the cards are quite glossy, and this would have looked, I feel, even better on a beautiful matte cardstock. Perhaps like the one of Moon Baby Tarot or something like that. But I am going to show every card of this because it's brand new and there's not many walkthroughs available. It doesn't have Pixie's font. It doesn't have Pixie's signature because these are redrawn, but very closely to... so they've had full artistic license on the backgrounds to give it a fresh background, but very closely redrawn. Pixie's, you know, the archetypes of the cards. And I just think it is gorgeous. Look at that High Priestess. Beautiful. That's like it's in some... I mean, to think that this is a ballpoint pen, different coloured ballpoint pens to create this. This looks like it could be the background of a... The background of this looks like it could be in some sort of national gallery. Just stunning. And this is going to be very popular because last night, whilst on air, this was the second to last deck that we showed, and Cheryl got 8 copies in her shop. They all went straight away. Along with another indie deck that we showed, both went within minutes, really. So she's ordered more and they're on the way. So if you do want to get a copy, go to Oneness Emporium. Look at that Temperance card, isn't it beautiful? go to Oneness Emporium. You can use the code, even though it's an indie deck, Hermits10, to get 10% off. It's just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So what can I say about it? I mean, it's very earthy because there's lots of background scenery put in there, and it's a treasure. It's a real treasure. It's entirely redrawn, as I said, delicate line work. It's got a muted vintage vibe to it, yet also looks like beautiful classical art. Gives kind of like a watercolor effect using these pens. Yeah, and it, oh, look at it. Look, I mean, look at the sky and everything in it. So it echoes the atmosphere of the early 20th century while offering something fresh and refined. And I think any RWS lover would probably really appreciate having this in their collection. I mean, look at the city in the background, the detail in there. Beautiful. This, with its autumnal colours. Oh, I mean, look at that. So, as I said, I am going to show every card for this one because I look at the background behind the swords. Such talent. Beautiful Queen of Swords there, and King. Look how well they go together. Oops. The brickwork, look. Wow, so there you are. That's just a extra card to protect the deck, like the one for the front. So, Rediscovered Classic Tarot. The publishers are Pentagram Publishing. You can get it from Cheryl at Oneness Emporium and also get a 10% discount if you want it. So that goes in for me at 4th place. Now for the top 3. Oh, the 3rd place. I love this deck. This is the JK Tarot. Jupiter King Tarot. There's lots of, well, there's 3 versions here. So again, this is the original. I had a custom tin made for it to keep to protect it. This was the original box. It says here it's by Tairiku Shobo. Look at this. So this was actually sent to me. It opens the other way because it's from Japan. So the same with like in China, the books open from the back. You read right to left rather than left to right. It's beautiful, and it was sent to me by somebody who watches my channel in Japan and said, I'd love to send you our nation's favorite deck. So I was like, oh wow. This is the box that the tarot cards come in. This is the book. So obviously that's the back of the book. This is the front of the book, and you would read that way. Love it, absolutely love it. So I keep this box safe. Now there was two versions. This is the later version. Whoops, sorry, I keep knocking the camera. That's a problem when you bring the camera down. It's easy to catch it. Then I mentioned Tarot Collectibles earlier. They got in touch with the original creator, who's still alive. I think they had some communication with the daughter, and got permission to do a couple of remakes. This is the original, a copy, a facsimile. Here's the creator of the 70s version. And then they also did a 1989 revised version. So they did clean up the artwork, change some line work and stuff like that. So they were able to do this. So this deck, printed in 2024, is a revised printing based on the 1989 edition of the deck. Over 30 years later, each card has been meticulously restored to its true glory with colour restoration and attention to detail by Christine Aguirre of Tarot Collectibles. This one is a kind of like a facsimile of this one, so it hasn't changed, and both were available from Tarot Collectibles. So Alexandra Jupiter is what where we get the JK from, Jupiter King. Yeah, and it was created in Japan, and again, beautiful colours. Look at all the rock work here. It's not going to be in order, this one. The other two are. I should have perhaps showed one of them, but I wanted to show you the original. Again, because it's from the 70s, the cardstock isn't the best. But again, it's a deck that's based on RWS. It's very faithful to the RWS in terms of the scenes. However, we do get, like here, but we do get different compositions in some of the cards. And it's redrawn in, how can I put it? Kind of like a slightly stylized way, with a soft almost, in some cards, almost like with a parchment-like finish. It feels both historic, but also really artistic. This one is a collector's dream as well, particularly if they love RWS. Again, it uses lots of nice colours, very similar to like the Albino Weight or University books. I love these kind of violet, purples, lots of oranges, burnt sienna. This is a beautiful version. Look at that High Priestess. The Death card, I love that it's not wearing any armour. It's just a skeleton on the horse, but we've got all the same symbols. We've got different, like I say, different compositions. But we've got those two towers, we've got the setting sun, we've got the Rose of England on the flag. And I like the different compositions. It's fantastic. Absolutely love it. Look at her wings. Look at her brown background there. Devil. Okay, so a deck, again, I waited a long time to get, and if I hadn't been able to get an original copy, then I really would have been happy just having the JK Waite. I love it at the JK Tarot, sorry. I really appreciate when modern tarot publishers bring back historical decks so that, you know, we can get to appreciate and love them all over again as much as people would have done back in time. Okay, number 2. So number 2, oh gosh, I love this. This is Pixie's Whisper Tarot. I do have the box for it. This is the box, it's just a tuck box. It's by Lorraine Music. And yeah, I love this deck. I was able to get this in a trade. I traded something that was out of print. Yeah, Lorraine Music is the creator of this. That's a different Ten of Swords. An alternative one, I should say. And I got it in a trade and I showed it and I just raved about it. It's absolutely brilliant. And she contacted me and she said, can I send you the mini version? So she sent me a little pocket version and the zip cases. So we do have a little mini version in linen as well. And then after that, she contacted me again and said, I'm bringing out a Christmas edition. Can I send you the Christmas edition? Look at these backs. So the thing about these is they have different backs. They have about 5 different backs that repeat. The Christmas edition just had the same back. But again, a Christmas theme. And I love them. I really, really love them. Now, this isn't strictly within the rules because you do get a black and white version of Pixie's artwork, but they are redrawn because you've got different backgrounds. You've got emphasis on symbols and things like that, and the colours are beautiful in this deck. As I said, there are different backgrounds. I think there are 5 different backgrounds. I think, yeah. Oh no, 6, 7. There's more than I thought there were. Maybe it's 7 different backgrounds then, because I can't see any more than that. Oh yes, there's another one here. 8 backgrounds. So there's more than I thought anyway. And at first I was like, I don't know how I feel about that, but actually I really like it. It looks pretty cool. But yeah, why do I like this deck so much? It's stunning. It's really stunning. It has this soft reinterpretation of Pixie's work. Lorraine has carefully redrawn on every card, but she's preserved like the structure, if you like, but adds a gentle, almost like dreamy quality. It's just really refreshing. I have loved doing readings with this. Love the colours, the soft, beautiful colours in it. You will see certain symbols replicated throughout the card. They'll appear a few times. Look, we've got the Fool's Dog, we've got the Fool up here, we've got the mountains, we've got the sun, but then you've got this symbol of a fool's hat here. There's nobody in the chariot. John Travolta still appears. This is such a fantastic deck. I love that addition of the sun and the birds. These three birds, as you'll see, they're on a couple of backs as well, will appear throughout the deck. Oh, it's just brilliant. Look at the Hermit. Magician inside one of the one of the tools, the cup. It's just a great reimagining of Pixie's tarot. And I do love the Christmas one, and it's fun to get out at Christmas, but this one for me is just the best. So again, somebody who might not like Pixie's artwork, or usually it's not the line style, it's normally the fact that it's the coloration and things like that, then might really appreciate something fresh and modern like this, our High Priestess. Yeah, so second place, and I was at one point it was almost in first place because I love it so much, but I woke up this morning and thought, no, actually this is my number one. My number one is the Golden Rider. I could not believe my luck when I managed to get a copy of this. I used to have a French version because that was the only one I could get. It went out of print probably about 9 years ago, just as I discovered the community. I saw this deck and I thought, I really want it. And I could only get the French version, and then I had this version gifted to me, which blew me away. Again, of course, I had a custom made tin done at NPC. This design takes me back to my childhood, and I can't remember, but I've seen this, and I can't remember if it was on a set of mugs for drinks or it was wallpaper in my first house when I lived from the ages of, well, I was born there till the age of 6. But as soon as I saw this image, I thought, I know that. It has this beautiful, and it has like a metallic finish, and then you get this gorgeous, shocking pink in the middle. It's just, oh, this deck is everything. People gasped when I said that I'd edged it, but I don't care because this isn't going anywhere until I'm long off this mortal coil and somebody else has it. But it matched perfectly with this brown on the background, the golden brown border. It finished it off, and I thought, this is my deck. I know it's out of print, I know it's sought after. I believe there's a mini version. I think Elle had a mini version. I was very jealous. But then I thought, have a word of yourself, Simon. You've got this deck. So, but yeah, I think there was a pocket version at one time, and that's even harder to get hold of. But this, I think it was Francois Tapenot. Yeah, Francois Tapenot, I think that's how you say his name. But again, this deck closely follows Pixie's art, but the colours in this deck are beautiful. It's completely redrawn, it's soft, it's elegant, everything about it is just gorgeous. The gold, and it's called obviously the Golden Rider, but the gold, I don't know how they do it, because nowadays if this was produced you'd have gold stamping on it, wouldn't you, that can peel off. This still gives that gold, metallic gold effect, but it is just part of the printing. Same with the cups here in the rainbow. But this deck is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It uses a lot of pinks, and that's why I think pink is one of the colours that's shown on the back. As I said, very faithful recreation of Pixie's artwork. The star always looks like she's got a black eye, but I don't mind that. Look at the colour. See what I mean about the pinks? Really gorgeous. So this deck by Francois was hand painted, as you can see, and as I said, a completely redrawn from the RWS, but it's got these beautiful bold colours and gold tones throughout. They do have stylized faces. Look how that gold feels metallic on the breastplate. Oh. Beautiful, rich texture. It's so expressive, vivid, but also has a really warm, painterly feel. They really bring your readings to life. I should use this more. I think when a deck is so hard to come by and so rare, I've seen this go for £1,000 once. And I don't mean they put it up for £1,000, it actually went for £1,000. I get quite fearful about using it in case I damage it in some way, because I can't see me ever being able to replace this. But then that's also a shame, because decks are meant to be used and loved. So I do need to use this one more. And this is why this one is my number one. RWS Alternative, because it's wonderful, and it's the one that I always want to have in my collection. So number one is the Golden Rider. Absolutely incredible deck. So there you have it. That's my top 10 RWS alternatives. And you know, whether you're just starting out or looking to refresh your practice with something new, then I hope you found something here that inspires you. Do let me know in the comments if you own any of these and how you work with them, or are there some that you've seen today that you'd love to add to your list? Pop them in the comments below as well. And yeah, I've really enjoyed doing these 4 videos. I've enjoyed being in the premieres and chatting to people as well. So thank you for your support and for being there and encouraging me. But yeah, thanks for watching, and as always, take care. I will see you in the next one, which I'll be doing a video tomorrow, not a premiere, but a walkthrough of the tarot disassembled against an RWS. And until then, go in peace, namaste, and blessed be.